Welcome to this last video in part one of this production line assignment project. So in the previous videos, we added some KPI cards and some visuals. So if you haven't watched those already, go back and watch them, but we're trying to recreate this dashboard here for part one, and then we'll move on to part two. So we're left with the slices and then some basic customizations of the visual. Okay, so obviously feel free to style it however you want. I just used a custom theme that I created and uploaded via um, browse for themes, but you can customize the current theme all you want, and you can make specific customizations to each visual. So here, let me go back here. I'm just trying to show you what I did. So here, I'm going to add the three slices per the instructions. So after adding the visuals, we were supposed to add slicer, date slicer, and then we use a date and a region slicer and a shift slicer. So those are the three slices we need to add to complete the visual. So the slicer visual here, I'm using this default, but obviously I had imported a custom slicer as well that I could use. But I'm just going to use the default slicer here. So I click add, and then I have to add the date to this one as a field. And then so it's picked the date range by default. And then there are two other slices. So add another slicer. This one is for region. So I could let me add the region to the field first. And then there's a third slicer for, so it's date, region, and shift. And so shift, before I add shift, I gotta add the slicer. So let me click here and add the third slicer, and then click on shift to add this one here. So you can position these and style them however you want, like this here. Um, and so yeah, you can see as I click on these, it responds. So I'm going to change them to different types of slices. So this one here, I'm going to go to format here and make this a tile instead of a vertical list. So I change this to tile. And if I wanted to be vertical, I probably should make this a bit longer. Let's see. So make this narrow, maybe. Okay, so I want it to look like that. Okay, so and then this one here, so I just want different types of slices. So this is the date slice. So I can make this one like this, or I can change it to a drop-down list. But I think I want it to keep it this way. So this is a vertical list. The other type option is a drop-down list. But I'll just make it a vertical list for now. Okay, so let me move these around. And I have my three slices. So I think the other thing I did was I added some borders to each. So I go to here, and then in the general, I was adding to the effects section. I was adding a certain yellow color. I think it's this one. No, it's not a background. It's a border. So not the background, but effects visual border. So I was turning on the border and changing the color to that and giving it a 15 pixel around that corner. But you can style it anyhow you like. I'm just giving you an idea. So that's how I got these rounded corners, and you can put um a background or some other things to style it. But that's the border you see. So you can apply that border to all the visuals the same way. That's what I did, and that's how I got this. So obviously, my KPI cards, I noticed that there was space here, and so I decided to move this around a little bit and move this around a little bit so that um, let me give it a border so that I can see where this one is. And so in the effects, I turn on the visual border, change the color to that and make it 15 pixels as well, just so I see where that card ends more clearly. And so it would have been useful if I had done this, apply the style first before um, copying the visual over so that the style also copies over. But yeah, I already did it. So I'm just going to do it one by one now. And the general to effects visual border. And you can also apply a shadow to it. So if I want to under here, I can add 10 on the shadow and give this one some shadow of this color. And we can make it, okay, I want the shadow to be outside, so you can see there's a shadow outside. And you can turn on tooltips and a whole bunch of other options. But yeah, so I'll leave that for now. You can add a background to it, but I didn't add any backgrounds for now. I just want to keep it simple. So yeah, so under the general properties, you can add the fields and things like that. So depending on the visual, the properties available are different. And then for the formatting, there are some that are general formatting options available to all visuals, and some that are specific to this visual that's currently selected. And then the third thing is you will see that depending on which visual is selected, you have this extra option, add further analysis to your visual. So I'll come back to this and we can look at a trend line and forecasting or anomalies features. Okay, so that's going to be a separate video. But yeah, and then the other thing that I want you to try as part of the assignment in the subsequent section is um, we talked about different AI visuals, Q&A, influencers, decomposition, narratives, and we did the power automate stuff as well. So I will go over those in a subsequent video, but that's how you create the basic dashboard that we have here. Let me just resize this to match the other one and then move it around. So you can position these wherever you want on your screen, but I figured, you know what, since I already have these here, let me just add a few so that they align that. And I could style this one as well. So this one doesn't have a rounded border. Let me just quickly add it. And the general here, effects, visual border. How come it has, okay, I didn't give it the rounding, 15 pixels. Okay, and then I'll do the same thing for this one. General effects, and the general effects, I want to give it a visual border, same color, same rounding, and resize it to look like what's wrong here. So yeah, that's how I got. So you can put, I mean, the way, the specific way you arrange it is up to you, but just try to create some symmetry. I think I like to see some symmetry. So I might like make sure that these boxes, these visuals are lined up vertically and horizontally. But that's something you can do, figure out how to style these things to make them look nicer. And I'm going to clear the filter. So you can obviously select some filters or clear the filters. So here it seems like I have one visual selected, and because they're synced, when I select one, you can see all the filters apply. So we'll look at filtering specific visuals versus all the visuals in a subsequent video. But right now they're synced, and so any filter you apply to one applies to all the other ones on the same page. We'll see how to set up multi-page filters as well. And so, yeah, so stay tuned um, for subsequent videos, but that's how you create this basic dashboard. And I will see you in the next video for to begin part 2, where we create user roles, custom user roles, and assign the roles to people within the organization. So see you then.